Good morning. I'm Minister Dominic Alexander, President and founder of the Next Generation Action Network. This morning's press conference is a personal press conference, but I want to introduce and make sure that I acknowledge the people who are around me today. Start off with Reverend Ronald Wright with the Texas Justice Seekers, also civil rights attorney Sean D'Lisa, and I also have the mother of D'Lisa Kelley, D'Lisa Kelley, and family and friends who are here, who have been touched by this case. 12 years too long. 12 years ago, I saw myself remembering my friend, my childhood friend named D'Lisa Kelley, trying to see how could something in a neighborhood that I was born and raised in could have such a horrible tragedy strike our community in 75216. D'Lisa was a childhood friend that I went to elementary school, middle school, high school. I remember 12 years ago when I showed up at the family's house just to console and do whatever I could, because that's what we do in Oak Cliff. We make sure that our community is good. Never knowing what the future may ahead, but I knew that I wanted to make sure that whatever happened to D'Lisa Kelley, that it never happens to any other family. And why and how. We also started off, why did it take so long for police to respond to D'Lisa's grandmother's call on March 7, 2014. D'Lisa's grandmother called police. We all know today that that sergeant put her call in a pool of hang-ups. We know that it took all the way from Friday to Tuesday for Dallas Police Department to be able to understand that it actually made an error. We also know that on March 14th, 2014, D'Lisa Kelley was found in front of an abandoned house on March 14, 2014. The level of yet heinous and coward act that was done to D'Lisa is historical. It's horrible. I remember this family had the courage to open up the casket to let the world see what happened to D'Lisa. That courage took a lot of strength, but they wanted the world to know what happened to their baby. D'Lisa left a 2-year-old who is about to approach high school as a 9th grader. We knew that one day we would have to tell little Danye what happened to his mother. And we knew that it wasn't going to be a comfortable conversation. But 12 years, we need justice. We demand justice. The person who killed D'Lisa Kelley is a free person, is a person who have for the last 12 years been able to go on with this life while this family lives in yet trauma. Like I said before, D'Lisa was a childhood friend. I never knew that 12 years later that I would be standing in the capacity that I stand in today. D'Lisa's case is what woke me up. It what directed the path of what God had in store in my life. This press conference today is a hard one because it brings a lot of emotions. It brings 12 years of yet pain and just unforgettable moment. Today, on what would have been D'Lisa Kelley's 37th birthday, D'Lisa left this world when she was 24 years old, 2 months pregnant. We call on Dallas Police Department to reopen this case, to do whatever you can to make sure that the person who done this to D'Lisa is caught. Our request brought about history and changed history here in the state of Texas. Because of this tragedy, we were able to bring a missing alert system here in the state of Texas called the Clear Alert, with the help of Reverend Ronald Wright, State Representative Tony Rose, and so many people, and Sergeant Willie Ford of the Dallas Police Department. We was able to create a missing alert system that now is helping families. This system has been able to save so many people since it's been signed into law in 2019. And today, all we stand here today is say, we want justice. 12 years is far too long. Somebody know what happened to D'Lisa Kelley. Somebody know who did this. Somebody can come forward and be able to let Dallas Police Department know what you know. Before I pass this off to Reverend Ronald Wright, I just call on to people and say, what if it was your daughter, your granddaughter, your sister, your cousin? Would you want somebody to stand up and say something? Justice for D'Lisa Kelley. I'm bringing to Reverend Wright.
All right, thank you all. I'm Reverend Ronald Wright, Executive Director of Justice Seekers Texas. And like Dominique said, for 12 years ago, he contacted me and said, Reverend Wright, we got a situation where a friend of mine lost her life. And as we looked into it, we found out what took place with D'Lisa. And today, 12 years later, the family has not gotten any report from the Dallas Police Department. And we would like to ask the Dallas Police Department to reopen this case and put some real investigators in it so we can find out what took place. Because from what actually took place, if you hear it, you'll say they should have been able to done something by then. But apparently they didn't. So the family has suffered for many, many years because of the lack of duties done by the Dallas Police Department. But as a community and a group of people, until we wake up, we're going to continue to suffer for the lack of disparity on certain race of people when it comes to homicide and murders. And I know you all know what's going on now. We've been out here already talking about certain things. But we're asking the police to reopen this case. And after we show and they know what took place, because the person that was in charge didn't do his job. And we're asking for just justice for this family. I mean, I rarely know anybody can kill somebody and walk around and never get caught. And that's because of the lack of investigation that is being done by Dallas Police Department. So we're reaching out to the Dallas Police Department as well as to the community. If anybody knows what took place, please, even if you do it anonymously, tell us something so this family could be at peace. It's time for them. It's 12 years later. And like I said, the son is growing up. And he's going to know what took place with his mother and why anything wasn't done with it. So we're asking you all out there in the public to open your mouth and tell us something. Okay, go right ahead. Who's next, Dominic? I don't want to talk long. I have to pass it off.
I'm going to bring up Civil Rights Attorney Shonda just to say some of the legal avenues that we can take to be able to make sure that D'Lisa gets justice.
Unsolved. That is the one word that this family has heard for the last 12 years. That stops today. This is a call to action. We're asking the Dallas Police Department, the Texas Rangers, and the Dallas County District Attorney's Office to reopen this case. This family has waited 12 years, and they've heard nothing. There have been many, many advancements in genetic genealogy and DNA testing that did not exist 12 years ago. Open up this case, retest this DNA, look into what happened and solve who committed this murder. The Dallas Police Department, Share your file with the Texas Rangers. Work with them. They have a cold case unit. They are solving cases around the state. Make this a top priority. To the Dallas County District Attorney's Office, you have a cold case unit. Put those resources in to find out who murdered D'Lisa Kelley. This is not an ask. This is a demand. This family deserves justice. D'Lisa Kelley's name will not be forgotten. We won't let that happen. We will make sure that the world remembers D'Lisa Kelley's name, and we will make sure that the world says it loud and proud. D'Lisa Kelley deserves justice. That is our promise. And this family will not stay quiet. This family will not stop, and this family will not go away until there is justice, accountability, and change. Justice, so this family can have closure, so that D'Lisa Kelley's name doesn't die in vain. Accountability, so whoever is responsible for this murder has to pay the price for what they took. And most importantly, change. Change. So no mother has to stand here before cameras, before the world, begging to get justice for her daughter after 12 long years. I want to thank Minister Dominique Alexander and the Next Generation Action Network for all their work in this case. They've followed this case for the last 12 years. We will ensure going forward, this team, that we will make sure that D'Lisa Kelley and her family get the justice that they deserve. Thank you.
Before I bring up the mother to say this, there wouldn't be any Next Generation Action Network without D'Lisa Kelley. This organization would not exist. It's very hard for me to bring Sam and have her do this today because I saw these tears for 12 years. I saw the pain of this family that has hunt them hard. And I want people to really connect, and for some people that don't know nothing about this case, for some of the people that they remember where they were or they remember this great tragedy at that time, we're committed to making sure that justice is served in this situation. And we want to make sure that DPD, and I know we've communicated with them and they've cooperated with being able to go down this lane. And we hope that people in the public be able to help them in their quest. Somebody knows something. For all the people that like to be on social media and comment and all that, somebody knows something. And that's all we want to know. I'm going to bring up Sam as she just, as best as she can, be able to share the level of impact that this has had on her family, and then we'll go from there. Sam.
Good morning. I'm really at a loss of words. I didn't really think I was going to have to speak today, but it's okay. I just really want to speak to the person that actually did this to my daughter. We're coming for you. We're coming. I just want you to know that. I may not be here when it happens, but we're coming for you. And that's all I got to say.
Any questions?
I have a question. So today would have been D'Lisa's 37th birthday. I know that you guys talked about the advancements in technology, but can you share a little bit more about the timing with really trying to work with police to get them to reopen this case to finally figure out who did this?
Well, we communicated with Dallas Police Department about and preparing them for what we was going to do on today, her 37th birthday. And of course, we know that the current police chief wasn't here at the time, so it's also to, educate him on it, right? This current police chief wasn't aware that the clear alert law was even created from the police department because, of course, we've had 3 police chiefs since this tragedy has happened. And he expressed his interest in being able to retest and do all those things. And of course, I know I will leave it on you guys to communicate with DPD as to where their investigation is going to be and what they're going to do going forward. But our role today was to raise awareness again, but also remember and continue to lift up the name of D'Lisa Kelley. And I know that around March 14th or July 24th, it's always, we're always inboxed, I'm always messaged, you know, all this. Like, I know a lot of people from where I'm from that literally say this all the time. Man, they need to have justice for, I get these inboxes all the time, justice for my girl. It's always somebody that grew up with D'Lisa. The impact of that this case had on our community, man, it was crazy. The candlelight visual that we had for D'Lisa had over thousands of people. This case really shocked the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and across the nation. And so we're trying to do whatever we can to make sure people, we know what the streets do. They talk. Somebody has to know what's going on and what went on in D'Lisa Kelley's case.
Just to piggyback off of that, I mean, here in North Texas, we're seeing all of these advancements with genetic genealogy. I mean, why now? And then also, do you guys plan to open your own independent third-party investigation or case into this DNA?
Our organization will do whatever we can to ensure that we help the law enforcement with whatever tools to be able to bring justice to. As an advocacy organization, our role is not to investigate. Our role is to help and raise awareness and attention to the situation and do whatever we can to ensure. We want Dallas Police Department to do their job. We're not going to do it for them.
So would you consider hiring like a third party to do the genetic testing, or?
We will consider to do whatever it is to bring justice to D'Lisa Kelley. We'll make sure that if that's an avenue where we have to reach out to a private investigator with all of the retesting of the DNA, we know that the DNA has not been tested since 2014, 2015. So hopefully with all of these advancements that you say, that this can make a hit. And over time, if you notice that a lot of these cases, the person who done this to someone may not have had a background, and then 10 years later they have a background and they retest them and they're able to make a hit, right? We're hoping that in all of this time that we're able, when they retest this, that this is able to find out who this is, where this, connect this DNA to whoever done this. Because, statistics show that when a person does a heinous crime like this, they end up doing it again. And wherever this person is, we know that this person is a threat to society. What D'Lisa went through is unimaginable. For anybody that ever saw that or went to this funeral, you would, it's hard to even stand here to remember. I was sharing with people before we walked in here. I stand here today, but I stand here looking at y'all having all of the memories in the back of my head. Everything that this family ever went through in the back of my head. And it's hard to even stand here as an advocate and as a person who y'all know has done many cases. This hits home. This is family. D'Lisa Kelley is and will always be very important and dear to my heart in ensuring that no one ever forgets her name.
One final question for me. You had mentioned D'Lisa Kelley's son who's going to be a freshman in high school. How is he doing just as you guys continue to work to get justice for him?
He's developing quite well. He's not an active kid. He's a gamer. Very tall. He wears a size 13. Very sweet. But I can tell that he has memories of his mother, and he misses her. And when we mention her name, he kind of cowers away. And I know that's because he doesn't have a clear understanding as to why his mother is not here anymore. And that's what we're asking for. To give him a better understanding as to why this had to happen. To him, his mother, and his sister that did not make it here.
Mom, since you're up there, I just want to ask you, I understand physically this is hard for you and understandably. Describe to me how you're feeling 12 years later. I mean, that pain doesn't go away.
I feel the same way I did the first time I found out about it. It doesn't change. The feeling doesn't go away. You can mask it with laughter, being around family and friends constantly. But that pain does not go away. Never let anybody tell you it'll get better. It doesn't. You just learn to cope.
Okay, that's good.
All right. At the we want justice. We want justice for D'Lisa Kelley. We want to make sure that we raise awareness, and we ask, and this is my final plea to the public. If you know something, say something. I just say this: if it was your daughter, your granddaughter, your sister, your cousin, your friend, what would you want someone else to do? We hope that the DPD and federal law enforcement agency, and as well as state law enforcement agencies, do everything they can to solve this case. Today, we say a happy heavenly birthday to D'Lisa Kelley, to D'Lisa Michelle Kelley. We remember her, we love her, and we will continue to make sure that her legacy lives on forever. And thank y'all for coming here today. And I pray that y'all continue to pray for the Kelley family, their friends, because this ain't easy at all to remember 12 years later. Thank y'all.
Thank you.